Good morning, everyone. Today we start the session with the rank of a matrix. This rank of the matrix is helpful to identify the set of vectors is linearly independent and dependent. And also in so many applications, we need to find the rank. And by using the rank, we can also identify that the square matrix is singular or non-singular. First, we go through the definition of rank. The rank of a matrix A is the maximum number of linearly independent row vectors of A. It is denoted by row of A. And we have another way to define the rank of a matrix. A matrix A is said to be of rank R when it has at least one non-zero minor of order R and every minor of order higher than R vanishes. So just pause your video. This is the time to reflection spot. So yeah, pause the video and think about the answer question and wrote down the answer for this one. What is the rank of a matrix A? 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Did you complete the answer? Now, we discuss about the answer for this one. Once look at the matrix, the first row having all ones, second row having all twos, third row having all threes. If you are multiplying 2 with the first row, you will get the second one. If you multiply 3 with the first row, you will get the third row. That means only the row 1 is linearly independent. Second and third rows are depending on first row. That means number of linearly independent rows are only 1 for this matrix. That means the rank is equals to 1. For sometimes we are unable to find directly observing the matrix. So at that time we are using the echelon form to find out the rank of the matrix. Now we discuss about echelon form. So echelon form is nothing but upper triangular matrix. In that matrix, number of non-zero rows in echelon form of a matrix is called rank of A. So now we discuss what is an echelon form. How will we reduce any matrix, either square or rectangular matrix, into echelon form? All rows consisting of only zeros are at the bottom. The leading coefficient or pivot element of a non-zero row strictly to the right of the leading coefficient of the row above it. What do you mean by leading coefficient? Which is nothing but first non-zero element in that row. Here we see an example here. In the first row, first non-zero element is 1. That is considered as pivot element. We are always make this A11 as a non-zero. If it is a non-zero, then there is no problem. If it is a zero element in the place of A11, make that element into non-zero by using elementary transformations. After that, using this pivot element, make the elements in the column, in that column, to 0. Now, after converting these elements into 0, next identify the pivot element. That means first non-zero element in the second row, which is 2 here. Using 2, make the element in this to 0. Okay. So now for this one, the number of non-zero rows are 2. So for this matrix, the rank is equals to 2. Now, so here we are using elementary transformations to converting any matrix into row echelon form. What do you mean by elementary transformations? It's again a reflection spot. Pause your video and write the points of elementary transformations. Now, I will discuss what is elementary transformations. Any of the following operations and the matrix is called elementary transformation. That is, in that first point is interchange of any two rows or columns, multiplication of elements of any row or a column by a non-zero scalar quantity k. The last one, addition of constant multiplication of the elements of any row to the corresponding elements of any other row. So using all these elementary transformations or any of these transformations, we can reduce any matrix square or rectangular matrix into echelon form. Now we go through an example. Find the rank of the matrix A is equals to 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1 using echelon form. Applying row transformations to reduce A into upper triangular matrix or echelon form. First, choose the pivot element. That means A11 make to non-zero value. Here already A11 is non-zero, so there is no need to apply interchanging of rows. Now, using A11, make the elements in that column to 0 by using elementary transformations. Here we are applying R2 tends to R2 minus 2R1. Then we are getting the second row as 0 minus 1 minus 3. Now make the element 3 to 0 by using R1. R3 tends to R3 minus 3R1. Then simplify, applying this transformation and simplify, then we will get 0 minus 4 minus 11. Now we are choosing another pivot element in the second row. Okay. Here in the second row, first non-zero element is minus 1. So this one is our pivot element. Using this pivot element, make minus 4 to 0 or reduce this minus 4 to 0 using elementary transformation. R3 tends to R3 minus 4R2. Just once again recheck. If you are substituting minus 4 in place of R3, minus 4 into, in place of R2 substitute minus 1. So minus 4 minus of minus plus 4 becomes 0. Okay, similarly applying the same property for these two elements. That means minus 11 minus 4 into minus 3. That means plus 12. 11 minus 12 then becomes minus 11 plus 12, that means 1. Now here observe that how many number of non-zero rows are there? 1, 2, 3. So that means rank is equals to 3. Now I am giving some more problems for practice. Just solve these two problems. If you have any doubts, then we will discuss in the next class. So find the rank of the matrix. So as usual in the previous problem, just using elementary transformation, reduce into echelon form. Here, look into the second problem. Find the value of K such that the matrix A is of rank 2. Okay. For this one, we are applying elementary transformations by reducing into echelon form. And rank of 2 means the elements in the last row is 0. After reducing into echelon form, check that for what value of K the third row becomes 0. Okay. In that way, you can find the value of K. If you have any doubts, then we will discuss in the next class. Thank you all.